Hey everybody, it's Emily Leach, founder of the Freelance Conference, and what a great week. We're getting to talk to yet another one of our speakers for FreeCon 17. Joshua Lee is here with us. Thank you so much for giving us some of your time.
Of course.
Oh, that was awesome. I'm going to start doing that every time I get on. No, I'm just kidding. So before we dive into stuff today and talk a little bit about why balance is bullshit, I'm going to run over to Facebook real quick, and I'm going to share this out. Those of you guys that are watching, if you'll do the same, that'd be awesome. It just takes a second. I'm just going to straight up share it to my public. Share now.
I've got mine shared as well, so hopefully all my people that are looking, whenever you're watching this, make sure please share, like, check out the Freelance Conference because it's going to be amazing.
Oh, no. Not to mention, I just got an email literally as you were coming on a while ago, and I put it to the side. So for those of you guys that know about, Pete Monfrey and the Blues Review, so some of the guys on his team I met last night, and we're playing with some stuff we might do at the conference. Woo-hoo. So we'll see. That's all I can probably say. So we're meeting on Monday morning to chat about that stuff. So who knows what'll happen there. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I want to know about Hawaii. So Josh just got back from a week and a half in Hawaii.
Well, I mean, I've been out of Austin now. I left on the 1st, and I went to Seattle, and then from Seattle I went to LA, and then I was, I guess about 8 or 9 days out in Hawaii. So yeah, it was in Maui. It's been amazing. But I'm glad to be back in Austin, Texas. I mean, I love, as you can kind of see, I've got a different camera, but it kind of pops in. I got Monopoly Austin on the back of my board and stuff like that. But yeah, no, Hawaii was amazing. It's good to be able to get away. We forget that as entrepreneurs to be able to take time and step away and turn off. Yes. Just turn off. I mean,
just turn off.
I mean, how many times have you taken a vacation, really just not looked at your email, looked at Skype, looked at Facebook? I mean, I did fairly well. I mean, I think I posted like once or twice.
I saw a few posts.
Once or twice, but for the most part, I try to, best I could, just to stay away and just disconnect this digital world we live in.
And it can be really hard on those long extended vacations. So like this morning, I've even started doing it. I used to have a really good practice of this. So I started getting back into, when I go to a meeting, phone stays in the car, or something, I don't need it. I'm in a meeting. This is about you.
Right.
I went rowing this morning and I literally left the phone at the house, and it's surprising just what happens when it's not right there to check or do something with. And then Shelly, a good friend of both of ours, she wrote a post this morning about a watch that she wears. And she even mentioned in there, she goes, "Why do I wear a watch? Because I can find out what time it is without picking up my phone and then being drawn into text messages and Facebook messages and stuff like that." It made sense.
Wait, you're telling me a watch is used to tell time? I thought it was just something to look pretty on my wrist.
I think it does both. Talk to Shelly. She's got this crazy idea that it tells time.
It's one of those funny things. It's like someone will ask you time you'll be wearing a watch, you take out your phone, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I have a watch on. I forgot that's what it does." I mean, we lose track because we get so drawn in by that digital device. I mean, I talk to people all the time, and I mean, I talk about this in my book too, where it's, the first thing that people do when they wake up. I mean, it's the first thing, when I ask people, I'm like, what do you think the first thing when someone wakes up, what do you think they do? Most people are like, well, I don't know. I'm like, no, you do it too. You reach for your phone.
Yep. Most people do.
It's what it is. And I mean, that's one reason why, like you say, you don't take your phone with me. I put mine on that sleep mode. So it's basically only important calls that I have on my favorites list come through.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Or someone has to call twice for me to get a notification. And I mean, I don't touch my phone till 9 a.m. I mean, everything's about getting my day started, because if I look at my phone, that's what people are doing. They're setting precedents that the outside world is more important than you. And the outside world doesn't make you,
I
successful.
agree.
So, that's the first thing you're doing. If you do that, the rest of the day, you put everyone else in front of you, the whole social world. So
absolutely.
I love that you did that. Yeah.
That's Slack included, So I do a pretty good job. Every once in a while, I will admit, I get on and I get on Slack and I go through messages and stuff. But for the most part, I get up and the first thing I do is I walk outside the back and I walk through all the flowers and everything, and we have I think I'm just going to start calling him a pet armadillo because he comes every night. And
What? You have a pet armadillo in the backyard? That's awesome.
apparently we do. And so anyway, I check out the damage and fix what I need to and all that kind of stuff. And then I tend to, well, I do my best to go row. Right now, I've been kind of sick, and so I've not been able to do that. But
Right.
now that I'm starting to be able to get back on the boat, it's very, very helpful.
That's huge,
So,
my dear, and I'm so happy.
but tell me a little bit about the book. And I know it doesn't release, I think, till October. You told me there's been a few books out, like you gave me one, and I've gotten to read it. It's really awesome. Thank you so much. In fact, it's signed. Yes, there it is.
We did the soft launch of Balance is Bullshit, and we are doing the national launch in October. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things that people go, why did you write the book? And it's not really the reason why. I didn't write the book to be able to sell the book or to be able to go in. I really wrote it for myself, and that's where people have to really understand. I had a lot of things in my world that I did and did not do, especially like I went through a divorce, and at first I had this whole mentality that, well, I didn't want to tell anyone that, I started over, and my entire life, I shut down my other companies, I shut them down, started over fresh. And I mean, as of last March, I had less than $1,000 in my name. I was like, you know what? I can't get back time, but I can always make more money. I've done it before. And I started off going in, and I've tried to have this persona. We all perceive ourselves, right? And how we believe others perceive us. And that's usually a lot of our downfall, because
it is.
You're like, well, they think of me this way, so I've got to be this way. And then you get wrapped around in this
yes,
craziness.
Yes.
And it's only in your mind. So, that's why I kind of put out this book, because I wanted to share my journey as an entrepreneur, how I started, my pitfalls, my fuck-ups. We all did. I mean, yeah, I made a business bet while in Vegas.
I love the story.
To be able to, with a quote friend of mine, a $1.3 million bet on that his code was going to work for my company. We were over a 10-figure a year company. I lost all that in a year. We didn't do the research. We didn't go through, and we were just, as they say with guys, we were doing the whole who's got the bigger so-and-so. And
that's where you draw the line.
I'm trying to, at least somewhat. But, so that's what we were doing. And so, I talk about in this book, and I go through, and so much effort, and where I had some of my downfall as well, even though I felt I did it well. And people looked at me for advice even before I really even started really making a factor in my life, was this whole work-life mentality. So much money's been put into work-life balance, and that word balance is so heavy.
It is.
Yeah.
I heard somebody one time, and this might resonate with you as well, talk about the word balance, especially in regards to work-life balance. And they're like, balance is everything has to be like this all the time. And if you have a deadline, there's no way you can get the deadline done if your life has to also be in balance. And the word they used was harmony, which I thought was really a nice word for it.
And I use integration and harmony,
yeah,
all those different pieces, because you have to be able to understand what's important in your life at this point and learn how to be able to integrate those pieces within your life as needed.
Exactly. Yes. And you do need to have days where life takes way more priority and precedence over everything than work. So how's that balance?
And that's the whole thing. And I go through, like with me, I have 4 pillars within my life, 4 integrations that I do. And it's, I believe that I have to have my health. That's one of the main things. So I try and integrate aspects of health in my life every day, because if I'm not healthy, I can't do my job. I can't live my life. I can't do anything. I feel like I have to have relationships, personal and professional, because I have to have those people that I can talk to when I have issues, and also help me celebrate my successes. Because again, you need these different aspects in personal and business. And then third, I want to have, vision of, and I put vision, spirituality. It's that kind of whole kind of combination where you have to know where you're going, not just where you're at. Because so many of us get caught up on where we're at right now, not where we're going. And I did all these are all things that I lacked when people saw me as successful based on income because I had a lot of money.
Right.
It's great. Money is good. I concentrate all on business. Business is one of those pieces as well. But once I started integrating those different aspects, all of them, and not just having one take full control, life got so much better. And as it gets better, it gets better.
And I've seen you get so much happier. I mean, I've known you a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Yeah. And I've seen a difference. So I absolutely believe it. I loved, since I first heard about the book, and even, all these years, a couple of years getting to know you, I love the concept of what you're talking about in regards to freelancers, because it's really, really difficult, especially newer freelancers, to dive in and be able to manage it all. And, very quickly they get into the work-life balance conversation. And I always want to say the same thing. It's like, there is no balance. You do what you need to do. And what you need to do is, I love that, based on your pillars.
Right. And I mean, that's what you have to define first. Define what's truly the pieces that make you who you are on a daily basis, that you feel that add value to your life. Once you define those, you need to be able to take a perspective and understand. I have a 4-point perspective diagram that I go through with a lot of my clients. And it's basically like, okay, look, here's the middle thing. Here's either the problem, or here is the outcome that I want. And then I'll take health, business, relationships, and vision, and then I try and go, okay, how does each one of these attach to the issue or the solution I'm trying to go through? And then I try and look for one commonality that I can kind of take that path on that'll touch each one of those, because those are important pieces of my life.
Great. Now, so how much of that are you going to go into in your talk?
So these are the things. I mean, I'm going to be going through a lot of things. I mean, these are what freelancers really need, I believe, need to be able to act. I've been a freelancer. I mean, anyone that actually starts their own company initially is a freelancer. Forget entrepreneur freelancers. I mean, they're just boxes that we put ourselves in.
They are.
But we are all the same, and we're all working for a common goal to be able to do a job, to do a task, and be able to get paid for it, and not go crazy in the process. So, I mean,
there's the key.
So that's what I'm going to be talking about, on how to be able to define these different aspects of your life, be able to really value your time. Because if you don't put a place of value in your time, guess what? There's 1,000.
Nobody else is.
Well, no, actually, there's 1,000 people in line to be able to put a value on your time. That's the one.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I see.
Someone else is, no. Really? Everyone that you talk to is going to be happy to go, oh, I'll give you $10 for your time. I'll give you $5. Well,
you're right. We tend to, I notice myself included, obviously, the society, we're like, well, nobody else is going to do it. But you're right. They absolutely put a value, and it's not a very high value.
Yeah.
So don't let them do it.
So, I mean, I'm going to go through how to be able to truly put that value on your time, and then to be able to learn how to be able to understand, once you have that value, how to be able to keep on scaling and growing your company. And those are the biggest things that I think freelancers need to be able to do, because, like, one thing that I always see a lot of people do is no one can do this. They want to bring someone on to help them grow their company, right? You can't always do everything yourself. Sometimes they'll bring one extra person or two extra people, are like, oh, well, they're not doing exactly the way I would do it. If they could do it the same way that you would do it, they would run their own company. They would not be working for you. So a lot of times, to replace your one, you need two. And that's okay. That's okay. But I mean, we look at it and go, well, I'm paying you to do this job. I was able to do it this way. Why can't you? So, and that's where that whole thing of understanding your value of your time and where you should be placing it, and being able to grow your company and be able to do those tasks that truly are in your wheelhouse.
I love it. And I cannot wait to have you at the conference. So for those of you guys out there, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We're right at 15 minutes in. Thank you so much for your time, Josh, and especially your insight on balance.
Yeah, of course.
So those of you guys out there that are still on the fence for whatever reason, doesn't matter. No judgment. But if you have not yet bought your ticket, go to freelanceconference.com. The conference is, I was going to say February. Where did that come from? September 8th and 9th, 2017, right here in Austin, Texas, just like you're seeing on his screen. And there are still some available tickets, and we cannot wait. We are literally now under 3 weeks till we kick this thing off, and there's going to be some really amazing stuff happening. So grab your ticket. Thank you so much for joining us. And until we get to talk to the next speaker, have a great time.
Thank you, Mike. Bye.